I am Wei Wuyong's bride, chosen to ward off misfortune. After our marriage, he despised me in every way. He loathed my deep voice and brute strength, scheming endlessly to divorce me. I whipped him all night long and told him, once you become the top scholar, I'll agree to divorce. Later, he passed the imperial examination as the top scholar. I planned to divorce him and flee, considering taking a son-in-law instead. Instead, he blocked my path with his men, eyes bloodshot. Damn it. I knew you had your eye on the young gardener at the mansion, didn't you? My mother died young, and my father was a gambling addict. To pay off his debts, he sold me for 10 taels of silver to the Wei household as a bride for good luck. The man I was to marry was Wei Wuyong, the third son of the Wei family, the most worthless young master in town. Half a month ago, he fell into the river trying to retrieve Miss Zhao's handkerchief, caught a chill, and never recovered. Unable to rise, the groom who stood with me at the altar was a rooster. When they came to find the bridal chamber, I overheard the little maid Shuiju whispering behind my back, "Country bumpkin, just wait till the young master's gone, see how long your beauty lasts. I don't know how many days I'll be happy, but I know this, you're finished." I immediately tore off my veil and dragged her before the old lady to report her. "Grandmother, she cursed my husband to die young." The old lady's expression darkened at these words. The head maid slapped Shuiju several times, leaving her face swollen and red. After dealing with Shuiju, the old lady kept me for a few pastries and instructed me to live well with Wei Wuyong. When I saw Wei Wuyong, night had already fallen. He lay pale-faced in his wedding robes on the bed. From a distance, he truly didn't look like a living person. I checked his breath and pressed my ear to his chest to listen. Still okay, not quite dead yet. Perhaps my head was too heavy, for I woke Wei Wuyong. He coughed incessantly. After a moment, he noticed me and frowned. Where did this ugly creature come from? Wei Wuyong was exceptionally handsome, more so than all the men I'd seen in my entire life combined. Yet he called me ugly. I couldn't hold back and punched him. "I'm your wife. Grandmother said we must get along well. You can't speak to me like that." Wei Wuyong gasped for breath. "Wife? I married the gentle and virtuous Miss Zhao. What right does this ugly monster have to be my wife? I'm strong and hit hard. Say that again and I'll beat you." Wei Wuyong was a man of principle. After half an hour of my beating, he only silently wept without a sound. Being a bride was exhausting. I actually fell asleep on top of him. His body carried a faint medicinal scent, soothing to the senses. After half a night of exhaustion, Wei Wuyong's hands had gone numb from being pinned down. The first thing he did upon waking was write a divorce decree. "Look clearly, this is a divorce decree. This young master doesn't want you, you ugly monster." "Is this the divorce decree?" I joyfully picked it up and asked him to read it aloud. "This is the divorce decree for the wife of Wei." Wei Wuyong could barely hold back his laughter after reading just 4 words. Oh, he still didn't know my name. Mian Mian. Lin Mian Mian. I reminded him. "Here, take the brush. Write it yourself." This was my first time in such a large study, my first time holding a brush. Before, I'd always hide outside the schoolhouse, eavesdropping on the old scholars' lessons. Then I'd come home and draw pictures on the ground with willow branches. The characters I wrote were all my own invention. The 3 characters for Lin Mian Mian came out crooked and twisted, looking like gibberish. Wei Wuyong laughed until tears streamed down his face. "Lin Mian Mian, you're so ugly and clumsy." But amid his laughter, tears welled up. "Marrying such an ugly, clumsy wife, I'm so miserable, wah." He cried, and I hit him. Knowing he could write, I struck him less hard than last night. After wrestling with him all morning, I finally mastered the character for Lin and Lin Mian Mian. This commotion delayed our breakfast. The Wei household didn't serve lunch. Before long, I heard Wei Wuyong's stomach growl. "Want some scrambled eggs? Mine are fragrant and delicious." I'd already asked around when we arrived at the Wei residence yesterday. Wei Wuyong is a picky eater, with his own private kitchen. "Scrambled eggs? Lin Mian Mian, what do you take me for?" His voice carried a hint of anger. I cracked 10 eggs, fried them in a bowl with lard, and sprinkled a handful of freshly picked green onions from the field just before serving. I tossed the rice in the rendered pork fat and drizzled it with soy sauce. The flavor was absolutely divine. Wei Wuyang stared at me, utterly incredulous. Lin Nian Nian, are you a glutton? You finished the entire bowl. Not only did you eat it, you polished it clean, didn't even leave me a single grain. I wouldn't tell him I never made a portion for him in the first place. Fuming with rage, Wei Wuyang finally remembered to pay his respects to grandmother. Just you wait. If I don't kick you out of this mansion today, I'll take your surname. I swallowed the last mouthful of rice and nodded. This was the most satisfying meal I could remember ever having. When Wei Wuyang went to complain to grandmother, Cui Ju whispered a wicked laugh in my ear, "You're done for. The young master is going to kick you out of the mansion." In the end, Cui Ju was disappointed. Not only did grandmother not expel me, she gifted me a gold bracelet. She was a woman of profound wisdom. Even if I were no longer in the Wei household, I would remember to burn paper offerings for her. On the way back to my room, Wei Wuyang hung his head in dejection. "Lin Mian, what kind of witchcraft did you cast on grandmother to make her favor you so much?" "Probably because I'm so pretty people can't help but adore me." "How come I never noticed that?" "Oh, only clever people can see it." Wei Wuyang gritted his teeth. He couldn't fathom how someone as shameless as me could exist in this world. Yet he can neither out-argue nor overpower me. By my third day in the Wei Manor, I'd already won over a group of maidservants. They all admired me, convinced I possessed extraordinary abilities. I'd offended the senior maid Cui Ju. Wei Wuyang despised me, yet I still managed to win grandmother's affection. In this household, grandmother reigns supreme. For a while, the threshold of Wei Wuyang's Qinyuan residence was nearly worn down by these maids. After spending half a month with Wei Wuyang, I learned 7 words: Wei Wuyang, Lin Mian, divorce letter. I truly am the most formidable girl in the world. Oh my, look at you getting all cocky. Learning 7 words is such a big deal? But I can read the entire 3-character classic, doesn't that make me a child prodigy? Then will you teach me to read the 3-character classic? You fool! The 3-character classic is this one. The book in your hands is banned literature. Wei Wuyang snatched the book from my hands. I couldn't read, but I saw his face flush crimson. 3 months passed in playful bickering with Wei Wuyang. His complexion grew brighter day by day. Grandmother gave me another longevity lock, this one gold. Tonight, Master Wei returned. He served as an official in the capital, coming home only once every 3 months. Wei Wuyang always bragged to me about how formidable Master Wei was. But when he actually returned, the father and son were awkward with each other. Especially Wei Wuyang, his face was tense. Instead of greeting Master Wei, he hid in his room playing with crickets. Only after asking grandmother did I learn today was Wei Wuyang's birthday. On the day Wei Wuyang was born, Lady Wei suffered a difficult labor. Master Wei and Lady Wei were deeply devoted to each other. He harbors a deep-seated resentment toward Wei Wuyang, believing him responsible for his beloved wife's death. Thus, their relationship remains distant. Before bedtime, I brought Wei Wuyang a bowl of noodles. Long-life noodles, freshly cooked, still steaming hot. Here, finish it in one go. Otherwise, your fortune will be cut short. Lin Nian, do you think I'm pitiful because no one celebrates my birthday? Let me tell you, I, Wei Wuyang, never need such pity. You think making me long-life noodles will make me remember your kindness? Dream on. His voice crackled with fury. Crack. Something shattered. A figure leapt outside the window. Wei Wuyang stared at the newcomer, shock filling his eyes. How could? My reflexes were quick. I caught the longevity noodles in my arms. I watched the father and son glare at each other across the room. Finally, old Master Wei broke the tense silence. Nian Nian is a good girl. You mustn't mistreat her. I couldn't agree more. Wei Wuyang's eyes blazed with fury. Had this come from any lowly servant, he'd have shown them today what it meant to cross the young tyrant of Shizhou City. But this was his own father. Wei Wuyang turned away, meeting the silence with silence. Master Wei pursed his lips, making a move to leave. But I stopped him. Father, you are a gentleman, and a gentleman's word is his bond. Since you promised me, you cannot go back on your word. Mr. Wei was a man of principle. Hearing this, he truly did not leave. If he wouldn't go, then I would begin speaking. I gathered Wei Wuyong's broken belongings and laid them out on the ground, one by one. There was a kite with a broken string, a pair of tiger head shoes with a hole, a faded rattle, a creaking wooden horse. Do you remember these things? It doesn't matter if you don't. You're a high official, your heart filled with the people of the capital. With such a vast heart, it's only natural you can't see the loved ones right before you. Mr. Wei remained silent. But Wei Wuyong's face flushed red as he snatched his treasure chest from me. Lin Yanyan, you're acting less and less like an outsider. Who told you to touch these things? Pack them up immediately. I placed the longevity noodles in his lap and gave him a sharp smack on the head. The crisp sound made Master Wei wince. Eat up. Finish it all, or I'll flick you to death. Wei Wuyong, stinging from the flick, hugged the noodles and began slurping them down. Though the blow landed on Wei Wuyong, blood is thicker than water. Master Wei felt as if a large bump had appeared on his own head. While you were away, my husband often told me how you're a good official who loves the people like your own children. You probably don't remember these children's toys, but it's okay if you don't. I'll tell you. Wei Wuyong bought these toys at a high price from the children in Shizhou City. Master Wei frowned slightly, seemingly baffled by Wei Wuyong's peculiar hobby. I picked up a toy and pointed to the incomplete character Wei on it. Recognize it? You gave these to the orphan children in the city. Though the townspeople call my husband a good-for-nothing playboy, he's actually quite capable. He hasn't forced himself on any women, and even the toys you gave away, he bought back with his own money. I think having a son like him is pretty great. No one wants to be born with only one relative. Besides, the young master is still so foolish and clueless now. Once he grows wiser, he probably won't burn paper offerings for a cold-hearted father. Master Wei's face turned from white to red to green, a truly spectacular display. Finally, some remark must have struck a nerve. He knelt on the ground and wept for a long time. Wei Wuyong, clueless as ever, hugged him and wept bitterly together. Truthfully, Wei Wuyong couldn't quite recall what Lin Yanyan had said that night. He only remembered his head throbbing fiercely, and the longevity noodles being so scalding hot they brought tears to his eyes. The moon that night was perfectly round. It was the fullest moon he could recall ever seeing. The night was a bit chilly. Yet his heart felt warm and cozy, as if a hot water bottle had taken up residence inside. After Master Wei passed away, Wei Wuyong stuck his tail high in the air, reverting to his old self, a fearless little tyrant. All spoiled children are like that, running wild and untamed. After the father-son relationship mended, grandmother was in high spirits and gave me a rouge shop. She said the profits from that shop didn't need to be reported to the Wei household and could be my private stash. Wei Wuyong grumbled upon hearing this. Can Lin Yanyan even do the accounts? What if it loses money? No one in this household is better at losing money than you, is there? Grandmother teased. Everyone in the room laughed, while Wei Wuyong's cheeks puffed up in anger. I gave him a quick poke and, before he could react, said, I don't know how to manage accounts. You can teach me. I'd never teach a half-witted fool who only recognized 7 characters after half a month. Unless you. Wei Wuyong lifted his chin, looking smug. By the time he figured out how to manipulate me, I was long gone. Where's Lin Yanyan? The young mistress has gone out. Wei Wuyong gritted his teeth in frustration and made a bet with Laifu. You mark my words, within an hour, Lin Yanyan will come begging me. What could Laifu say? He just soothed and coaxed the young master before him, keeping him company while waiting for the young mistress. 1 hour passed, then another. Wei Wuyong's eyes were swollen from staring, yet he still hadn't seen me return. He turned the Wei residence upside down, finally finding me at the steward's quarters. Lin Yanyan, what are you doing here? Learning bookkeeping. I waved the abacus in my hand. I'd thought it through carefully. Though Wei Wuyong could read, he was a true spendthrift. If I really asked him to teach me bookkeeping, learning from him might just ruin the shop's business. I needed someone with great wisdom. Grandmother had great wisdom, but her eyes had been ruined from years of hard work. Besides, teaching me would be quite a strain. After much consideration, I found Fu Bo, the steward. Fu Bo was a kind man, plump like a Maitreya Buddha statue. On the day I entered the estate, he was the one who told me about Wei Wuyong's small kitchen. When I sought him out, he agreed with a warm smile. Fu Bo was the best teacher I'd ever encountered. When I made mistakes in my calculations, he never blamed me. Instead, he praised my progress and called me talented. He was incredibly patient, more so than the old scholar back in the village. Every time I went to him for lessons, he'd have a plate of mung bean cakes ready for me. They were fragrant and sweet, absolutely delicious. A month later, my abacus clattered loudly. I never made the same mistakes again. Master Fu praised me to grandmother. The young mistress calculates swiftly and accurately. This old servant has little left to teach her. I'd mastered my skills, but I felt a pang of sadness. I'd never taste such sweet mung bean cakes again. Heh, no more sadness. Fu Bo said if I liked his mung bean cakes, he could make them for me every day. I declined. Eating them daily would get tiresome. I'll have them 4 times a month. A steady stream, lasting forever. Wei Wuyang heard this and doubled over laughing. Lin Mian, you're such a pushover. A plate of mung bean cakes can win you over? Then I'll treat you to plum blossom cakes, lotus leaf cakes, water chestnut cakes, and lotus root starch osmanthus cakes. Wouldn't you worship me like a god? Of course not. Mother only knows how to make mung bean cakes. She's never made any of those fancy, pretty pastries. It's like how my best dish is scrambled eggs. Children from poor families, where would they ever see such extravagant things? Being able to fill our bellies and not starve to death in famine years is already a tremendous blessing. Wei Wuyang was a young master born with a silver spoon in his mouth, raised in luxury and fine dining. The young master was a bit dim-witted and didn't understand these things. On the 3rd day of the 6th month, I rose at the crack of dawn. Before leaving, I asked Wei Wuyang, "Want to come with me? Out?" "I'd never go with you. This young master is heading to the Fushio Pavilion today." Wei Wuyang wore a sky-blue robe today, several jade pendants dangling from his waist, jingling with every step. His naturally fair complexion and white teeth made him strikingly handsome. After recovering from his illness over the past half-year, his complexion was rosy. Spending his days teaching me in the study had also imbued him with an air of scholarly refinement. The maids in the courtyard, accustomed to seeing Wei Wuyang beaten until he howled, blushed bright red when suddenly meeting the gaze of this dignified version of him. Wei Wuyang basked in their admiring glances, humming a tune all the way. After he left, Cui Ju came to warn me, "Miss Zhao is attending the poetry gathering at Fushou Pavilion today. You must chase after the young master immediately, or else, if he and Miss Zhao hit it off, you'll be kicked out. Don't blame me for kicking you while you're down." Cui Ju held out her hand. "Get me a chicken leg." I gave her a mung bean cake, covered the basket, and headed out. My face burned fiercely all the way. Cui Ju must have been cursing me behind my back. I shouldn't have given her that mung bean cake. I walked and walked until I reached a small mound of earth. It was my mother's grave. I laid out scrambled eggs, mung bean cakes, roast chicken, roast duck. Then knelt before the tombstone. Now that I've learned to read, I know my mother's name was Su Lingyu. Books say Lingyu means precious gem. Gems are priceless treasures, meant to be cherished. But mother lived like a stubborn stone soaked in a stream. Hardships struck her like a thunderclap. Yet she always wore a smile, like a flower blooming from the mud. I wiped the tombstone over and over, whispering softly. Mother, Mian Mian is now the young mistress of the Wei household. Life is good. My husband is handsome and obedient, a man of promise. Every day there are endless mung bean cakes and scrambled eggs. I finally saved enough money to buy mother steamed buns, roast chicken, and many delicacies I couldn't even name. But she can't eat them anymore. Tears welled up, I don't know how. Oh, it wasn't me crying. It was heaven weeping. It started to rain. My clothes grew damp and clung to my skin, not very pleasant. Because of the rain, I felt a bit dazed, unsure if I had actually cried. Perhaps I had. In a haze, I thought I saw Mother. She wore a long, lake blue gown, the cloth on her head swaying gently. She reached out to me. Mian, my mother was the most beautiful girl in Shizhou City. But on the day she died, she was thin and frail, like a bundle of firewood. My mother died. She starved to death. I jolted awake. It had all been a dream. When I woke, someone was carrying me on their back. He patted my back. Don't cry, Mian. Don't cry, put me down. I kicked him, hit him, stomped on him, but he clenched his jaw and didn't utter a sound. At the critical moment, someone I never expected rushed over. You scoundrel! Let go of Lin Mian. It was Wei Wuyong. I gazed at him with joy. But beside him stood a young lady of breathtaking beauty. The carriage bore the character Zhao. That must be Wei Wuyong's beloved, the young lady of the Zhao family. I collapsed into Miss Zhao's embrace. She wore the latest pleated skirt, her skin soft and fragrant. I think I understood why Wei Wuyong loved her. If I were a man, I'd adore such a gentle, refined girl too. Of course, even as a girl, I really liked Miss Zhao. His fist mixed with muddy water, Wei Wuyong didn't know how many times he'd struck. Blood seeped into the dirt. Still unsatisfied, he stepped forward and kicked twice more. Only when Lai Fu tugged his sleeve and warned, "Young master, stop hitting him, that's the lady's father." Wei Wuyong's kicking leg halted midair. Close call, he nearly took a faceplant. What happened next, I have no idea. Because I passed out. When I opened my eyes again, Wei Wuyong sat at my bedside, his eyes bloodshot, wailing, "Lin Mian, wake up. You eat 8 steamed buns at a sitting. If you're gone, who's going to eat them?" Lai Fu cleared his throat twice. "Young master, the mistress has a severe cold. It's life-threatening. Dr. Gui said the medicine will cure her." Who would believe that? What respectable family has someone with a cold sleep for 3 whole days? So I slept for 3 days? When I sat up in bed, I startled Wei Wuyong. After a long moment, he snapped back to reality, wrapping his arms tightly around me, squeezing so hard I could barely breathe. "Lin Mian, I'm so glad you're not dead, Wah. If you died, who would I get to draft the divorce papers?" Grandmother, upon learning I was fine, gave me another ingot. Honestly, I could cry. If only she were my real grandmother. For the 10,000th time, I envied Wei Wuyong. After 3 more days of recuperation, I finally recalled that day's events. Where's my father? Oh, father-in-law's living it up now, doing just fine. Take me to see him. Wei Wuyong had so much to say, wanted to show off the little rabbit lantern he won at Fushou Tower. He wanted that fool to know how talented her husband was. Before the boastful words left his mouth, his hand instinctively reached out and took hers. Somehow, Lin Mian had become part of his life. Usually, seeing her was a bit annoying. But now that she was gone, his heart felt empty. I stared at Wei Wuyong's eyes and brows with surprise. It was a tenderness I'd never seen before. I fell ill. He became much more obedient than before. Perhaps Miss Zhao preferred a gentle young master. My head hurt so badly. Forget it. I won't think about it. When I saw my father again, he was dressed like a proper gentleman, looking somewhat respectable. He was like a completely different person from my memories. He deliberately smoothed his clothes, brushed off imaginary dust, and smiled ingratiatingly at me. I kicked him flat on his back and tore off his clothes. "Get out of the way, residents, while I'm in a good mood. Or I'll take you down with me." Mian. His face was swollen and red, beaten without striking back. He looked utterly pitiful. The servants whispered among themselves, giving Chuiju a thumbs up. "Sister Chuiju, you're amazing. To have stood up to such a formidable young mistress back then and still be alive today." Chuiju rolled her eyes in exasperation. More than fear, everyone was stunned. After all, my previous demeanor in the Wei residence had been that of a straightforward, somewhat forceful simpleton. Like a soft bun stuffed with rock filling. I'd never actively clashed with anyone. Wei Wuyong was startled. After the shock, an indescribable warmth filled his heart. Lin Mian is surprisingly gentle with me. Her voice was soft, I didn't catch it. My attention was entirely on my father. "You harmed grandmother, harmed my mother, Who else do you intend to destroy? Who wants to watch your phony act here? I can read now. I understood that indenture contract on the table. My father's swollen face drained instantly, as if drained of blood. Head bowed, he changed back into his old clothes and left the Wei residence. Before departing, he slipped 2 taels of silver into Wei Wuyong's hand. Take good care of Mian Mian. All this was relayed to me by Wei Wuyong. Had I known, I would have snatched every last coin from him. Lin Mian Mian, you're such an enigma. When I was at odds with my father, you clearly bet him to make me longevity noodles, meddling to reconcile us. Yet when it comes to your own father, why do you treat him this way? Master Wei is a good man, but my father isn't. He's a gambling addict. When he loses, he sells off my mother's dowry, her clothes, our family fields, and oxen. If the Wei household hadn't paid so much, you'd probably find me in a brothel by now. I've learned to read now. I know what that contract on the square table at home is. A contract of indenture. A contract to sell oneself to a brothel. My parents were once an enviably loving couple. Then he developed a gambling addiction, and debt collectors came after us. If mother hadn't sold her dowry, I wouldn't exist today. He sold off every last bit of our ancestral property. Only then did he try to quit gambling. But it was too late, mother died. Wei Wuyong, if you ever gamble with anyone again, I'll beat you to death. Wei Wuyong's carefully cultivated anger choked on that single sentence. Spank, spank, spank. Lin Mian Mian, what else can you do besides spank me? Just wait, this young master will divorce you sooner or later and marry a gentle young lady. The words were out before Wei Wuyong could stop them. He'd been standing right there when his father-in-law got spanked today. Lin Mian Mian's spanking really stings. Fine, seeing how furious you are today, this young master will let you have your way. But let's be clear, only on the butt. He shielded his head, shifting into a position Lin Mian Mian could easily reach. These past days, he'd grown accustomed to it anyway. A day without a beating felt oddly unsettling. But he never imagined. Instead of the storm he expected, he heard Lin Mian Mian say, Wei Wuyong, you can't divorce me. If you do, my reputation will be ruined and I'll never marry again. But when you become the top scholar in the imperial exams, I'll sign the divorce papers. You're so smart, it should only take you 3 or 5 years to succeed, right? Then, when you're the top scholar, go propose to the Zhao family. Miss Zhao should agree. Wei Wuyong was basking in delight, but now his mind was filled with the thought, if my reputation is ruined, I won't be able to marry anyone. Lin Mian Mian, if you leave me, who else do you think you'll marry? If I were smooth and observant, I'd be sweet-talking my way around this topic right now. But I'm a rock. After serious consideration, Fubo's son would be perfect. His round face radiates good fortune. He's just a gardener. A gardener is great, skilled hands mean never going hungry. Never going hungry. Fine, fine, fine. Wei Wuyong's jealousy boiled over. Right now, he wanted to bite that ungrateful little thing to death, piece by piece. And so he acted. That day, the usually delicate third young master Wei struck back, pinning Lin Mian Mian to the bed and biting fiercely. A rabbit biting a tiger, mighty for a moment. Fu Wuyong managed to bite her cheek in a fit of rage, only to be knocked down by a punch. Then he was pinned down and beaten all night. Wei Wuyong's butt swelled up like a small mountain. For the first time, the perpetually lazy third young master experienced the agony of being unable to sit or stand comfortably. Even though he was injured, Wei Wuyong couldn't stay still. Lying on the bed, he whined and ordered me around. Lin Mian Mian, I want tea. Lin Mian Mian, I want osmanthus cake. Lin Mian Mian, it hurts so much, blow on it for me, this was my fault, I accept the punishment. But seeing Wei Wuyong acting recklessly on me, I slapped him across the face. Wei Wuyong, do you fancy Miss Zhao? Wei Wuyong sucked in a sharp breath. Of course I do. Miss Zhao is gentle and refined, cultured and well-mannered, nothing like you brute force shrew. If you love her, then you mustn't bother me, nor any of the maids in the Wei household. You must be devoted solely to her. Wei Wuyang, no woman in this world wants to share a husband with another. Wei Wuyang's Adam's apple bobbed as he struggled to speak. His mind felt thick and foggy. Wei Wuyang, if you truly admire Miss Zhao, I'll help you. Help me? With what? Lin Yanyan, tell me, what the hell can you possibly offer to help me? Wei Wuyang was handsome, and his anger only made him more striking. But to win Miss Zhao's affection, looks alone wouldn't suffice. Miss Zhao was gentle and composed, beautiful inside and out. Her family runs the foremost cloth merchant in Shizhou City, renowned far and wide. The Zhao household operates a soup kitchen annually to aid the poor. The city's largest orphanage was established with Miss Zhao's personal funds on the day of her coming-of-age ceremony. Such an exceptional young lady, paired with a family of considerable means, a carefree fellow like Wei Wuyang is simply unworthy. Of course, not everyone shares my perspective. The wives of ordinary scholars in Shizhou City certainly didn't. They would secretly mock Miss Zhao for her false nobility. Scholars, farmers, artisans, merchants. They believed that even with her vast family fortune, Miss Zhao couldn't compare to a lowly minor official. Wei Wuyang, if you were to win the top scholar title, arrive in an 8-man palanquin with a mile-long procession of red wedding decorations, Miss Zhao would surely consider you. No girl could refuse a sincere heart. No girl could refuse a sincere heart. Wei Wuyang's lips curled in a mocking smile. And you, Lin Yanyan? Don't you want to be my top scholar's bride? Forget it, forget it. Pack your things and get out of my bedroom. Seeing I hadn't moved, he curved his lips in mockery. What? Didn't you say you wanted to cut ties with me? Now that I'm actually letting you leave this room, you can't bear to go? Wei Wuyang narrowed his eyes, regaining his pride through words. A clatter of noise followed. I'm out. In the empty room, Wei Wuyang sulked, sprawled on the bed. Damn it, that filthy mouth of his. By the time Wei Wuyang decided to swallow his pride and chase after me, the entire Wei household was abuzz with rumors of our falling out and sleeping in separate rooms. Hearing of our discord, father took leave specifically to return and beat Wei Wuyang. You little brat. You don't know how to cherish such a good wife. I'll whip you to death today. Grandmother, who usually doted on her grandson, stood by cheering for once. Beat him. Beat him good. Give Mian Mian her revenge. Wei Wuyang was chased around the courtyard 3 times over before finally bumping into me and being rescued. He tugged at my sleeve. Lin Mian Mian, it's all your fault. Now I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. Explain this to them. I shielded him behind me and pleaded, Father, grandmother, my husband still needs to pass the imperial exams. You can't beat him. If you hurt him and he fails, the Wei household will suffer a great loss. At the mention of Wei Wuyang taking the exams, old Master Wei dropped the stick he was holding with a clatter. Grandmother was equally astonished. Has Wuyang gone mad? Master Wei stepped forward to feel his forehead. Wei Wuyang gritted his teeth in fury. What? Do you all look down on me like this? It's not that we look down on you. We never expected you to bring honor to the family. We just hope you won't cause trouble and ruin us all. Wei Wuyang was choked into silence. Seeing his pitiful gaze, I squeezed his hand. I believe in you. You're so clever, you taught me everything. Your calligraphy is beautiful. You'll pass the imperial exams and become a top scholar. Wei Wuyang was so moved he nearly cried. It wasn't until he woke the next morning that he came to his senses. Wasn't today's beating all because of me? Fuming, he stormed to my side quarters. Lin Mian Mian, explain yourself. Wei Wuyang stormed into my quarters but found no trace of me. After questioning every servant in the mansion, he learned I was in the flower room. He stormed into the flower room, fury boiling over. The scene before him nearly killed him with rage. At that moment, Su Hanqing and I were picking flowers in the greenhouse. These flowers are truly splendid, Hanqing. You're quite the gardener. The young mistress offered her praise. Su Hanqing scratched the back of his head, looking slightly embarrassed. Cough cough, cough cough, Wei Wuyang nearly coughed his lungs out. He glanced at Su Hanqing, then at the thorny flowers on the ground, deliberately straightening his posture as he silently compared himself. Not as tall, not as fair, not as handsome, and his face is rounder too. Lin Yan Yan, Are you blind? What kind of trash are you growing? I'll pull these out sooner or later. Not a chance. These are the new arrivals from Yanji Pavilion. Pull out those roses, and watch out, I'll beat you. Wei Wuyang, furious, slapped the rose. A sharp ow! Echoed. Thorns pierced his palm. Lin Mian, I'm bleeding. Bandage me now. Wei Wuyang was acting like a spoiled child. Worried he'd damage more roses, I hurriedly pulled him outside. After bandaging his finger, Wei Wuyang started acting silly again. Alarm bells rang in Wei Wuyang's mind. Though Su Hanqing wasn't tall, with a round face, he didn't look like someone to be feared. But Wei Wuyang noticed Lin Mian's eyes sparkled brightly when she looked at him, as if they held hidden stars. How could she look at someone else with that kind of gaze? Wei Wuyang pondered for a moment before taking a sip of tea. Lin Mian, you're taking me less and less seriously. The tea you serve is sour. Sour tea? I took a taste. No. Before she could finish, Wei Wuyang captured her lips with a kiss. He glared fiercely at Lai Fu standing outside the door. The young mistress and I need to do some grown-up things. Close the door quickly. After Lai Fu left, moans and groans echoed from inside. Wei Wuyang clutched his head, whimpering softly, Lin Mian, you idiot. Hit me easier. If you hurt me, how will I pass the imperial exams? Fine, hit me all you want. Once I become the top scholar, I'll repay every single one of today's humiliations. After that day, Wei Wuyang changed. His fierce determination to excel shocked everyone in the household. The servants even started a betting pool, wagering how many days Wei Wuyang could keep it up. As the days passed, his grandmother and father also recognized the resolve in Wei Wuyang this time. His father specially invited a retired classmate to tutor Wei Wuyang. Even if he didn't become top scholar, gaining more knowledge was still worthwhile. During this period, Wei Wuyang was gentle and courteous, his every word and deed resembling the gentleman described in books. His former rowdy friends, hearing this, assumed Wei Wuyang was putting on an act. They stormed into the manor, inviting him to feast at the newly opened Drunken Fragrance Pavilion. Wei Wuyang declined. Frustrated, they began to taunt him, "What are you pretending to be? Everyone in Shizhou City knows you're just a spoiled, uneducated playboy. Don't think winning the top prize at Fusho Tower makes you special, who knows if you didn't just buy it. We're giving you face by inviting you to join us, and you're actually putting on airs? We're giving you one last chance. If you don't come." After Wei Wuyang resolved to become the top scholar, his mind sharpened. As they entered, he had Lai Fu summon me. Hidden behind the screen, I listened to this bunch of drunken fools slander him, my anger boiling over. A single fire poker swung with fierce authority, beating these bastards until their own mothers wouldn't recognize them. Gritting their teeth in pain, they swore they'd make me pay. I laughed. That very night, I showed up at these young masters' homes with my abacus and promissory notes, demanding repayment. One must study diligently, otherwise, one remains foolish, played for a fool without even realizing it. Take Wei Wuyang, for instance. Once friendless, he was coaxed and deceived by these young masters, made the fall guy, only to be discarded in the end. Fortunately, he too had studied and knew to demand a receipt when lending money. I'm strong. Hitting Wei Wuyang hurts, but hitting brutes hurts more. I beat them into pig-like messes. They dared not act arrogant anymore, each becoming as obedient as a grandson. When I returned to the mansion, Wei Wuyang stood at the door, cradling my hand and asking, Mian, does it hurt? I shook my head, not at all. That blood belongs to someone else. The maids eavesdropping behind the wall couldn't help but gasp, their eyes brimming with admiration for Cui Ju. Cui Ju chuckled. Just watch. Not a peep from any of them. Without his troublemaking friends around, Wei Wuyang threw himself into his studies with renewed vigor. Occasionally, the sound of clear, resonant reading drifted from the west wing. Most of the time, though, it was just the soft scratching of a brush on paper. The maids began to wonder if Wei Wuyang was just pretending to study. Like that Zhang young master down south, studying day in and day out, yet in the end, he didn't even manage to become a scholar. Wei Wuyang wasn't pretending. He was earnest. Reading didn't require loud voices, it only demanded focus. During Wei Wuyang's study breaks, I managed the rouge shop. Su Hanqing's roses were splendid. The rouge made from them carried a faint floral scent, and the ladies of the city flocked to it. The rouge business grew steadily. When the third shop opened, Miss Zhao sent me a calling card. Perfect timing, I'd been meaning to seek her out myself. While experimenting with cosmetics alongside Su Hanqing, I discovered a flower whose dye produced exceptionally pleasing hues. Displayed in the shop, the fabrics sold out in no time. The Zhao family dominated the dyeing trade, and Miss Zhao, with her exceptional foresight, naturally seized this opportunity. Miss Zhao spoke softly and elegantly, her conversation truly refined. Listening to her was a pleasure. Why does the young mistress look at me like that? Zhao Qiyu had never seen such a pure gaze. Stared at for so long, she began to wonder if something was wrong with her. You are very beautiful. Conversations among young ladies were simple. A few sincere compliments could sustain them for an entire day. I finalized the Jinyun cloth deal with her. Miss Zhao was magnanimous. The Wei family provided the secret recipe for Jinyun cloth to the Zhao family, who in turn gave the Wei family 500 taels of silver plus 10% of the profits from Jinyun cloth sales. After finalizing the deal, I intended to invite Miss Zhao to dine at the estate. But urgent matters at the cloth shop prevented her from staying. Our business dealings deepened our bond. I called her Sister Qiyu, she called me Mian Mian. After New Year's Eve, Sister Qiyu journeyed south to expand her business. Wei Wuyang excelled, topping the provincial examinations. But just as he was heading to the capital for the imperial examinations, he fell gravely ill. Returning from the capital, he was listless and drained of vitality. We went to the temple together to draw fortune sticks, seeking peace of mind. Wei Wuyang, unusually lively, pulled the fortune teller aside to ask about his marriage prospects. The fortune revealed he would ride a horse through the streets and meet his destined partner. What could this mean? Young master, your destiny is blessed. All your wishes shall come to pass. Yet your marital path faces trials. Only after separation and remarriage will you find your heavenly ordained match. This revelation lifted Wei Wuyang's gloom. But his temper flared. Had I not restrained him, he nearly set the temple ablaze. Though my education is limited, I understood the master's words. That destined partner for Wei Wuyang was not me. Half a month later, Wei Wuyang flaunted a poem before me, when the great phoenix rides the wind's embrace, soaring straight to the heaven's ninefold height. Should the wind cease and it descend, still it could churn the ocean's vast expanse. The world sees my constant strife, and scoffs at my lofty words. Even Confucius feared the young, a true man must never scorn his youth. Lin Mian Mian, do you know who sent this to me? Of course I know. I asked Sister Qiyu to write the poem. Books say a man of talent and a woman of beauty are a match made in heaven. They must be talking about Wei Wuyang and Sister Qiyu. Yet, gazing at Wei Wuyang's exquisite features, I couldn't help but feel a twinge of reluctance. But when I thought of my current status, that sadness dissipated. Without Wei Wuyang, finding an obedient son-in-law would be perfectly acceptable. Wei Wuyang muttered something in my ear. I didn't catch it. After that day, he recovered completely. Master was absolutely right, Wei Wuyang had remarkable fortune. The provincial examinations were held every 3 years. Had Wei Wuyang missed his chance due to illness, he would have had to wait another 3 years. That September, the 9th prince uncovered cheating in the imperial examinations. The emperor was furious and punished all those involved. The examinations were reopened the following February. On the day the results were announced, news reached the capital that Wei Wuyang had become the top scholar. In the imperial palace examination that March, he further won the emperor's favor. When the joyous news reached our home, grandmother beamed with uncontrollable delight. The entire Wei household rejoiced. I rejoiced too. But I must depart. I still remember what the fortune teller said that day at the temple. He said Wei Wuyang's destiny was blessed, he would ride through the streets on horseback and meet his destined partner. Now is the time for him to meet that destined partner. After Wei Wuyang taught me to write, I practiced diligently every day. Now I too could write beautiful, delicate small script characters. After writing the divorce papers, I went to bid farewell to my grandmother. Hearing my words, she wept bitterly, stroking my head. Mian Mian, you are wonderful. It is Wu Yang who is unworthy of you. Go with peace of mind. As long as I live, there will always be a place for you in the Wei household. Before I left, grandmother slipped me a pouch of gold leaves. While Wei Wuyang rode through the streets, laughing and chatting like a spring breeze, I opened my 6th cosmetics shop in the eastern part of the city. Every day, I welcomed customers and counted money until my hands grew numb. In my spare time, I developed several new designs. Their limited quantity and high price made them signature items in the shop. After the divorce, I considered taking a son-in-law, someone obedient to help manage the business. But I never imagined that before I could even post the notice, Wei Wuyang would come knocking. He wore a double-held black silk hat and a crimson brocade robe. His features were like a painting, and his every movement radiated effortless charm. May you, after our parting, find clear breezes and bright moons, even more splendid than before. Pursue the path of scholarly grace and elegance, and wed a splendid beauty. May both find joy, and may your love last until your hair turns white. What was meant to be a divorce decree flowed from his lips like a composed melody. I felt myself growing intoxicated by his words. I shook my head, warning myself against the allure of male beauty and urging clarity. Mr. Wei, the top scholar, what brings you here today? Mr. Wei, the top scholar? Lin Yanyan, we've been married for 3.5 years. We've held hands, shared kisses, and you've seen everything you should and shouldn't have. You destroyed my innocence. Now you want to wash your hands of me just because you're the top scholar? The world doesn't work that way. Wei Wuyang's heart was nearly shattered. Heaven only knew how he'd endured all those years of grueling exam preparation. He'd been waiting to become the top scholar, to turn the tables and make that fool Lin Yanyan eat her words. To show her just how outstanding her husband was, how many young women outside were waiting to marry him. On his way back alone, he'd collected a sackful of handkerchiefs tossed by admiring girls. He planned to fling them all at Lin Yanyan the moment he saw her. Then, standing tall, he'd watch her melt before him like water, clinging to his arm with sweet coquetry, whispering, "Husband, you're so wonderful." Finally, she'd kiss him. From head to toe. Just imagining this scene had Wei Wuyang so excited he couldn't sleep for 3 nights straight. His mind was filled with Lin Yanyan's fair, delicate face and her almond-shaped eyes like spring apricots. But when he finally got home, he nearly turned the Wei residence upside down searching for her, yet found no trace of Lin Yanyan. She was gone, but she had left him a letter. Wei Wuyang gloated to Lai Fu, "The young mistress may not say it, but she still cares for your young master." The smile on Wei Wuyang's lips turned into utter madness the moment he opened that letter. A divorce petition. Damn it, it was a divorce petition. He'd just become the top scholar, and Lin Yanyan dared to write him a divorce petition. Had he lost his mind, or had Lin Yanyan gone mad? Wei Wuyang rushed to find his grandmother. She smiled warmly and told him, "It's for the best. Nian Nian is taking a son-in-law into the family. This time, she can choose one who listens." Wei Wuyang nearly exploded with rage. A son-in-law? And obedient? He didn't believe it. What man in this world could be more obedient than him? Taking beatings without retaliating, even offering his backside willingly. He rushed headlong and finally found Lin Yanyan's cosmetics shop. Su Hanqing stood outside, greeting him with "Good day, young master." "Good day, my ass." His wife was gone. I never imagined Wei Wuyang would become so shameless after winning the top scholar title. He gripped my wrist, grinding his teeth. "Lin Yanyan, you and that little gardener have taken a liking to each other, haven't you? You plan to take him as a son-in-law, don't you? Damn it, you're not saying anything, so I'm right, aren't I?" It took me a moment to snap out of it and realize who Wei Wuyang was referring to as the gardener. But Han Qing isn't a gardener. He's the second manager at the rouge shop now. "Oh, really? I haven't seen you in a few months, and now you've got a nice new brother. Why don't I hear you calling me Brother Wuyang?" Wei Wuyang grew increasingly agitated as he spoke. A deluge of kisses rained down. My lips were bitten raw. I stomped on his foot, painful as hell, but he wouldn't let go. Wei Wuyang started this, yet in the end, he was the one crying. Lin Mian, you can't steal my heart only to shatter it in two. I cried from anger too. How dare you treat me like this? What about Sister Qiyu? Lin Mian, you idiot. I'm like this, and you're still thinking about other women? What, one son-in-law isn't enough for you? You have to find a good sister, huh? That day's memory is a bit hazy. I only remember Wei Wuyang crying terribly, and I cried terribly too. We hugged each other and wept, like two homeless puppies. After crying, we laughed. Turns out Wei Wuyang liked me. What a coincidence, I liked him too. I felt a bit guilty towards Sister Qiyu. When Sister Qiyu heard about it, she laughed herself silly. Silly Mian, a woman can't cling to just one man. Come to your sister instead, I'll let you touch 10 or 8 handsome men. Wei Wuyang flew into a rage and cursed, stay away from Mian. Don't disrupt our marital harmony. Wei Wuyang and I went through the wedding ceremony again. He rode a tall, sturdy horse, surrounded by a 10-mile procession of red wedding decorations, bringing me home in grand style. It turned out that Wei Wuyang's second wife was me. The old Taoist priest at the temple had been spot on with his prediction. On our wedding day, Wei Wuyang was drunk as a skunk, grabbing anyone he could find and declaring, "What glorious weather today. How did you know I was getting married? Eat more." That's right, I married Lin Mian. He grinned like a fool, driving everyone he accosted nearly mad. Wei Wuyang remained oblivious, bubbling over with laughter. He wanted everyone to know he'd married me. Half a year after marrying Wei Wuyang, my father died. I heard he was beaten to death trying to save a young girl sold into a brothel. When Wei Wuyang accompanied me to see him, he looked like a lump of mud, I barely recognized him. I still gathered his remains for burial. Wei Wuyang patted my back, humming nursery rhymes to me. I knew he feared my grief. That fool. I wouldn't grieve for him. My father died long ago. Even if the man dying before me wasn't him, but some ordinary person, I'd still help. As a child, I hated him, wished I could devour him. But later, I couldn't even muster that hatred. Not forgiveness, not letting go, just letting it be. My life has been fleeting. I've met so many good people, experienced so much happiness, who has time to dwell on the rotten ones? Another night, Wei Wuyang spoke in his sleep. Lin Mian, you must never take a son-in-law. I won't. Not even a ladies' chamber attendant. All right. My mother died young, and my father was a gambling fiend. Wei Wuyang jolted awake, burrowing into my embrace like a frightened kitten. Lin Mian, your husband is the top scholar. If you ever get involved with some little gardener or young girl, I'll drag you away. Just like this. All right. We'll spend our whole lives together. Outside the window, the moon shines bright. Inside, spring blossoms in full bloom. A lifetime is long. Our story continues tomorrow. The end.